Ladies and gentlemen, episode number 24 of my AI Love Affair. Today we have Gaurav Gurbaxani. And I finally got his name right because that's a very difficult last name to pronounce. But he is the creator of AIexpert.com. He is a legendary entrepreneur and thinks in digital arbitrage, which is such an amazing way to think. And I love having him on this conversation. I love having on the podcast. The case study today is about how you think differently, how you take a trend that is working right now in the digital world and how you capitalize on it. We talk about his ideas, we talk about his views on the digital economy and how he is becoming easily one of the most respected people in the digital space. Come, let's learn. Hey, it's Ronsley. Welcome, you AI geek, to this podcast, My AI Love Affair. Consider this podcast your digital compass, guiding you through the labyrinth that is business growth using artificial intelligence. Running a business as a creative can sometimes be like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. But what if you had a secret tool that could align all the colors for you? That is AI. It's like a master key unlocking multiple doors. Thanks for being here. Let's learn. Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by the legendary Gigi, owner of digitalmarket.com and now AIexpert.com. Good to have you, man.
Thanks, Ron.
When I ask you, look back, Gigi, at your life as an entrepreneur, what highlights come to mind?
I'm telling people that, dude, I've been doing this for 18 years. I've been doing this for 20 years. I'll tell you the highlights, like something that was emotionally charged in my mind was literally receiving my first internet paycheck when I was 14 years old. Like my dad was in the computer business, so we had early access to all the computers. Even back then, it was your 486, your 586, your Pentium, your Pentium 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
We've seen the whole thing because he used to sell computers. He used
Mhm.
to sell these computers. Like I got access to the internet super duper early on. And one of the first things I searched for was make money online.
Do you feel the fact that you were exposed to that a lot earlier on in your journey allowed you to now see opportunities that others don't see?
100%. I was fortunate to get this computer, but then I was also very inclined towards this computer. I think that slight edge is because now if I talk to someone about digital marketing, I know just a little bit more about them. And for that, I'm the expert, right? So I think the earlier you start, literally the earlier you start is the secret.
Let's talk about how you got into digital market, because digitalmarket.com is what a cool domain name. How did you get into it and what does it do today? And I really, really want to focus this whole interview around AI expert. But so let's talk a little bit about that background and then let's get into AIexpert.com.
I got into domaining because I needed some quick cash. And my sister called me up from Spain and she's like, my brother is coming to Spain. You also come to Spain. We're partying for like 2 weeks. And I just started my business then. I'm like, dude, I'm broke. I don't have cash. Like, now what do I do? I can't go. This is like a lost opportunity. I was like, but I've got some domain names. I've been buying domain names for some time. Let me go and try and sell one. And I listed them out. Dude, believe it or not, in the domain space, you'll believe it. It was sold out in 24 hours. I had 2,500 US dollars in my account. So that kind of gave me the belief. And that still is my core belief that today we should be building digital assets. So that's kind of been like my vision. And I knew I wanted to get into e-commerce. At the same time, I knew I never wanted to do the traditional business like inventory and warehouses and admin and all that crazy stuff. And over time, I'd been working, we had built a pretty cool digital marketing agency. we still help like businesses every month with their digital marketing agency stuff. So I was like, why not make this e-commerce? Why not make the digital marketing agency e-commerce? But instead of us only being the people who are there, let's get in other people who can provide more and better services. Essentially a marketplace. Our focus, where we specialize in, where we think we are like fairly decent at, is in providing digital marketing services as gigs to people anywhere in the world without the traditional like agency scenes where you have one team responsible. So totally for the gig economy, just pay me for this one job. I'm not directly liable or responsible for you. You did mention AI expert, which you wanted to kind of lead this conversation into. And I just see this as a very natural ascension of business. Is I don't think digital marketing is going to change. But with AI, there's so many new ideas. There's so many new things that maybe you didn't know, or now you suddenly got the time to grow and scale your business.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh,
The adoption is quite insane to watch actually. And the definition of intelligence is changing every day, which is also kind of cool, but also kind of scary at the same time. I kind of want to just go back a little bit because you mentioned digital assets there, and you mentioned how we should be looking at the space. And I just want to touch on that a little bit before we get into AI expert, because I think that's a natural progression, as you mentioned. When someone's starting off right now, someone's in a position that we're not in, how would you say that we should be looking at the digital landscape? And how should we be looking at building digital assets? Because AIexpert.com, you just bought a month ago. So can you just give us an idea on how you see the world and what is the world looking like according to Gaurav in when you look at everything?
I had a light bulb moment listening to you. And it was just like a breath of fresh air, like someone who was like, dude, AI is the scene. Then we had conversations. We had the good privilege of working with you. And it's not the first time I heard AI, but it was a very visible indicator that, dude, you got to get onto this bandwagon. I know being an early adopter is always good. That's like my experience and my knowledge reinforcing that, saying that don't overthink it. You know that this trumps everything. So answering your question, starting from scratch, I think like I'm starting from scratch. Yes, I do have experience. I do have a little bit of knowledge, but I'm starting a brand new digital asset as of 2023 after listening to your talk.
Wow. I have goosebumps because I didn't actually know that it was my talk on stage that actually changed that. Let's talk about getting into AIexpert.com. What was the thinking behind it? Like, so you knew that you wanted to get into the AI world. What was your next steps?
I started with a digital marketing agency 15, 16 years ago. At that point, this term came into my mind, which was let's be known as the SEO expert. I wanted to be known as the SEO expert, and I worked really hard and I got some killer results. If you ask me technically, like what skill do you have the best? I don't want to admit it, but I'll say SEO. And I was thinking that imagine if I rank on Google on position number one for SEO expert, AI expert is going to be a buzzword. Like people will want to be known as an AI expert.
Yes.
I just want to rank on Google for AI expert. You mentioned my community earlier on and masterminds and stuff like that. First of all, there's enough room for literally everyone. Meaning like, I just see the abundance over there. Two is like competition is just so old school and boring. It's so old school and boring. Collaboration, dude, it's fun. It's amazing fun. We're working together. We're learning together. I'll tell my friends about it. I have told my friends about it. I have told my customers about it. So why not? Why not build a collaborative community where we all showcase like our expertise. We come together, make money together. That's kind of like the vision.
It's so refreshing to hear the way you see the world. I mean, I'm so glad I asked that question. Let's get into AI expert. How would you explain that to someone? What is AIexpert.com? What is it right now? And what is your vision for it?
So, would you like to know the business model behind it? So, the business model is pretty simple. The first thing is to kind of like jump onto a trend. And there are a lot of tools available to find out like what people are searching for and things like that. And then depending on your budget, you can start off with a $10 budget. Because we've invested in similar projects, we said, let's go with a premium domain name, right? We've got a little bit of experience and expertise in that area. So depending on where you start, you can start with $10, you can start with $1 million on the digital asset, depending on the size of the game or depending on what your exit plan is. So from the business model perspective is one start with a trend that you're interested in, buy a good domain name, and then start building it as an authority website. Start getting really good content, start getting really good experts like yourself, podcasters, YouTubers, Instagrammers, people who want to be known in the AI space, right? Get them to start contributing to this network because it's not a one person's job. But the only way we can tackle that is by building a community. So we collaborate with top experts, we collaborate, and there are millions of people who know much more than us, like 1,000 times more. There's someone who is just learning about AI together, but that's what unites us, right? That's what reduces our learning curve. And in any industry, in any trend, there's going to be growth. So first you build a community, you build authority with Google, you build that brand, you build that social following on social media. And then either you continue to grow this because it's generating revenue from affiliates, it's generating money from experts. There'll be a lot of people in the AI space who will be happy to pay money to be listed on AIexpert.com. If someone Googles you, Ronsley Vaz, and it shows up on AIexpert.com/Ronsley Vaz, it's like, okay, you might go and sign up for it, or you might know more. We might collaborate. So that's like the kind of vision of it. And because we're talking about business models, it should start funding us right away, make money as quick as possible. And then we can even flip this domain. We can flip this domain today if we wanted to. We can flip it 2 months, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now.
Such a cool way to look at it. It's like any asset, right? I mean, you mentioned assets at the start, digital asset. It's like any other asset, whether it's a company, whether it is a real estate asset, whether it is a stock or a share. What is the plan right now? What are you looking for? How can we help?
So we're evolving right now. Initially, we thought we'd just be like a Reddit. Reddit, come see these links and go. But there's so many websites kind of like that. And this could be a good value add. Where I see this turning into a success is where we get the network effect, where we get good people contributing good stuff on their own. So we need to get to that level of momentum to get started. As of now, it's not like our core business. It probably still take maybe like 2, 3 months to start monetizing it because we need to get the right affiliate offers, the right content. It's not the first goal, but we want to run a profitable business.
Conversations with other AI experts that we can create content from, the conversation, we can break it down and distill what the main key takeaways are and how someone that when they read it. So I'm just so grateful to have met you, to have spoken at your event, to have collaborated with you and just be part of your journey going forward. When someone's looking for you, and I want to land this plane now, where can someone find you and connect with you and and look at your work?
So I think like AIexpert.com would be an awesome place to network, come create a profile, send me a message. That would be super awesome. One.
Of course. Gaurav, this has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for making the time. Hey, AI Geek. Thanks for listening. Your job doesn't stop here. I want you to lend your voice to the conversation. So you can join those conversations, discussions, new trainings, new recordings, and the rest of the AI Geeks by going to aigeeks.co/Discord. Also, share this podcast with a friend, another potential AI geek. Until then, much love.